should work in a second. We should be on. Actually, we can check with
I've got really bad hay fever, by the way, so if a tear comes out my eye, it's because it just keeps running.
Don't get too emotional.
It's normally, it's been really bad this year. It's gone straight to my chest, so it's really bad when I'm walking the dogs. I'm having to say it's not COVID, it's just pollen.
You need to specify that you're actually healthy. So we are live now. And we have here today Ruby Welsford from hold on, we have a little problem here. Hold on a sec. Okay. Oh, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we still live? I'm not sure because we had a little problem with we had like a double connection. So you can see that, no, it seemed to be going okay. Yeah, okay. It seemed to be still live. Okay. Sorry about that. So, right. So we have Ruby Welsford. I don't need extra hands. I'm already confused enough. Thank you. I'm already confused enough. So your company is Ruby, Betsy and Milo too.
Yeah.
Is that your group of dogs?
Yeah. Sorry?
Are they your dogs, Betsy and Milo?
Yeah, I've got Betsy, who's 8, and she's a Border Collie Cross Labrador. And I've got Milo, who's 7 months old, and he's a full collie as well. And Ruby, Betsy and Milo too. I just thought, well, it's the names of my dogs. They, at the end of the day, they inspire me, and they're my best teachers. So, hey, tribute. So
that is so lovely, so lovely.
Yeah, that's with Pocodogs.
Mm-hmm. So Molly, we are going to start the questions now. Molly's going to sit down and ask you your first question.
All righty, go.
How did you get into your profession?
Wow, big question. Okay, so I have always wanted to be a dog trainer, basically ever since I was probably in the womb, to be honest. I used to work in IT as web designer, and also for the police as well. And I was sort of down the path of, you know, the IT is the sensible path to go down, and animals, well, it's, you know, it's a dream world. And anyway, so cut a long story short, I started volunteering at a local dog training club, and basically after actually complaining about the methods used, and essentially got told, well, we need more instructors, do you want to do it? And I was like, well, hell yeah, you know. I'm not sure they were expecting that as an answer, so I thought, fine, I'll do it then. And I remember being completely terrified on the first day. I must have said about 5 words next to my mentor, who was actually Nina Griffiths, who is absolutely lovely, and she sort of tucked me under her wing at the club. And then slowly but surely, basically what happened is seemingly she started needing to miss quite a few classes. And now I sort of figured out that she wasn't actually missing classes. She was actually trying to sort of get me to be brave and take actual classes. And eventually, you know, got the dogs through good sits. And I had a bit of a specialism in reactive dogs at the time, because Bets, my oldest dog, was very severely reactive after being attacked as a pup, and she couldn't deal with dogs that to about 100 meters away from her, she'd just lose it completely. Now she's my owner trained assistance dog, and absolutely fine. She's a bit of a snob, but that's as bad as it'll get. Anyway, so cut a long story short, started to volunteer there, but it was a very much a hobby side project thing. Every Monday evening, 6 to about 10, I'll go down there and help out. And so all at this time, I then started as part of the technical training team at Guide Dogs. And when it came to the end of my contract, I had the regional manager come into my office at the time and said, "Oh, we'd like a word with you about your YouTube channel." And I thought, I almost said a very naughty word there, but I won't say it because I do have some self-control. I thought, oh God, what have I done? You know, what's this about? And he basically sat me down and said, "We really like what you do. How would you feel after your contract ends of basically doing some consulting work for us to teach our guide dog mobility instructors, dog care and welfare assistants, puppy trainers, etc. How to use clicker training and force-free methods, how to do task work, house manners, problem solving, and husbandry skills as well." So it was a very short thing. It was very much like a boot camp sort of thing. I'll go in, run a clinic, and then I'd have a topic of what we were going to do each day. And then at the end of that, I thought, well, you know, I'm kind of at a loose end now. And actually, if Guide Dogs, if they wanted me to do it, then I can't be too bad at it. So I thought, right, I thought, you know, I won't tell anyone. I contacted the Prince's Trust and I said, look, this is my ultimate dream to want to do. But I am not business minded. I'm not mathematical. I'm not even logical. But this is what I want to do. Don't know how to do it. So I went to Coventry for, I think it was like a 5-day course or something to sort of talk about running your own business, and eventually I got a grant, and then under my old name, which was Clickertastic, was eventually born at the end of November. And that was 5 years ago. And I started off by just doing puppy classes and the next level up. And I went to Clicker Expo and, you know, did my dog first aid and all of that jazz. Eventually went down the INDT route, and that's been fantastic, because at the time they were very much seen to be the only organization that aligned to my ethics. It's quite funny because I still say to people now, I'm very much force free, and you know, I even have force-free trainers that take the mix. Is how fluffy I am. But I just think at the end of the day, we don't want to be a dick to our dogs. So if there's a better kind of way of doing things, hey, let's do it that way. So eventually went down that route, and I went from sort of doing your everyday classes to eventually also going into disc dog, which is dog frisbee. And that actually started because of Bets, and you know, we love agility. Agility's great fun, but I've got the worst memory in the universe and the sense of direction. Like, I get lost in Sainsbury's local. That's how bad it is. So it's like, as you can imagine, I've accused judges of putting out fictional obstacles before, but actually the number was right in front of me, which was not my finest moment. Anyway, we do like obedience and he'll want to use it, but he'll want to use it. Bets is very loud about what she does. She enjoys herself. Now, I know it's arousal. I know I should get a bit more arousal control in there. But you know what? She's having a great time. It's not putting her in danger, you know. So I thought, right, okay, what's a bit like all of these that sort of has the best bits of each one, shall we say? And then I was looking at Kiko Pups, Emily Laram's YouTube channel at the time, and then I came across this dog, and then I googled it, and I couldn't find any in the UK. I mean, someone had tried to do it a few years ago, but it hadn't been active for something like 5 years, whatever, at the time. So I thought, hey, you know, let's try this. So yeah, it was very much like, you know, this is something I want to do. So I started training vets how to do it. This was even before I started up my own business. And then we eventually went to some national competitions, not for disc dogs, that in this country at the time, there weren't any competitions. So it was very much trick competitions at like the NEC and London Excel, and basically we do freestyle routines. And eventually it was like when we got really highly marked by Noel Fitzpatrick at the time, and you know, I was thinking, well, there were some safety concerns, but you know, if he says it's all right, then
then surely
he's more qualified than me, you know. And so I thought, right, okay, how do I do this? So there's no clubs, so I sort of read around as much as I could. Went on all the YouTube channels, did all the practice for my own dog. Then I went on lots of different workshops from people of different disciplines, of heel watch music, of scent work, of obedience, of agility. And I just thought, you know, there's no one in this country currently doing it. So my next best option, if you like, is to learn from the best of other sports and take what I like and try and apply it to disc and see if we can come up with our own organisation here in the UK. Now, I'm now the founder of the UK Disc Dog Association. We've actually got a Facebook group. It's called UK Disc Dog Association Air Sharks UK. We have three main games. So we have free disc, which is freestyle disc. We have jump disc, which is our answer to Frizz agility, and we have throw disc, which is a bit like toss and fetch, and you know, that's growing here as well. I've also been a UFO judge. I was actually the first in this country to judge a World Cup qualifier as well, although it was quite a small competition because hardly anyone that at the time knew about it, but we've since had a couple of competitions since, and each you know, we've gone to different events to demo and do little competitions at you know, the National Pet Show, London Pet Show, even Discover Dogs we did last year, which was quite a surprise because you know, initially the KC were quite anti-disc, and I've been trying to explain to them that, you know, it isn't just trying to make your dog jump as high as they can. It is very much the UK Disc Dog Association makes it very dog-centered. So we are the first organisation for dog sports that we know of that has several reasonable adjustments for dogs and handlers with additional needs. So if you need, say you've got a reactive dog, you need spotters, or you have a sound sensitive dog and you need them volume turnarounds, or you need a silent routine and no clapping and thumbs up whilst you get some training in place, that's absolutely fine. Or, you know, we allow treats and toys in the ring. So at the end of the day, I think, why do we do dog sports in the first place? It should be about dogs having fun. And I think that sometimes, sadly, especially at higher levels, can be lost a little bit. And so I've said to people with the UK Disc Dog Association that for me, it's not about being world class. It's just trying to get people to have a dabble in the sport and have more fun with their dogs and grow their dog's confidence and actually grow their own confidence as well. Because, you know, there's we've had dog and handler teams that have come to me and said, oh, you know, my dog's reactive, I'm not sure whether I'll ever be able to do something with my dog. And actually we've actually made it accessible to them, and they might have disabilities themselves, and I'm autistic, I've got mild cerebral palsy along with some other strange brain things. Oh God, I'm frothing at the mouth. That's not good.
Oh God.
I've not got rabies, honest. You know, I might be a bit rabid.
We need to keep you. We need to keep you moving. Unfortunately, it's really interesting. You've done a lot of stuff in.
I'm just trying to talk to the camera. This is my problem. Just shut me up. Go. You know?
You've done a lot of stuff in your career, so I guess it's hard to then to then pinpoint something that is.
Yeah.
So Molly has another question for you. Molly, go ahead. Two more. Go with the first one.
Number one is, what would you do with £1 million?
Oh, wow. £1 million. Well, where do I start? I'd probably do a happy dance with the dogs first. And I'll make sure that Milo didn't eat it as well. And but after that, I'd probably want to buy a centre that I could do up to help people access dog training, force-free dog training, different dog sports, just have fun with their dogs, from people with different disabilities and also disadvantaged backgrounds, because I think we can be a bit of I know we say about cliques in the industry, but I think we majority of us come from certain backgrounds, and I think some people are quite underrepresented. It would be nice if we could bring everyone together across the board and make it so the ultimate dream, of course, but it would require quite a bit more than $1 million, would be to have almost like a riding for the disabled quite set up.
Definitely more than that. But so a centre, a force-free dog training centre would be the ultimate. Then with further. That's really nice. So Molly, what's the next question?
The last question is, what is your craziest dream?
Craziest dream. My dreams are weird. If you want one that actually makes sense, or one that really doesn't, I once dreamt that I was part of a Super Mario thing and being chased by a watermelon, and then I woke up after crashing into a palm tree. But dream as in craziest dream as in like the best thing to sort of work towards.
No, like
when you're sleeping, right? That's what you meant. So the Super Mario one, I think, covers it. All right. Yeah. So well done for surviving all of the answers, all of the questions rather. And just a reminder to everyone that this week we're interviewing all of our judges. That next week we'll be judging the Pocodogs Dog Show, because it's our grand finale. We started this at the beginning of lockdown. We saw we started with you, Ruby. You were judging dogs, weren't you, as well?
Yeah, we did best trick.
That's it. And so it's lovely to end it with you as well, coming back. So thank you so much for agreeing to this. And remember, so next week there'll be prizes. So everywhere in the UK, whoever enters, they will enter one of the 7 categories and win it. First to third place, we receive prizes from Oscar Pet Food everywhere in the country, and we have other prizes coming in. We can't tell you yet. No, I shouldn't spoil all the surprises. But we have more prizes coming in as well from companies that will be at the Pocodogs Dog Show on the 25th of April 2021 at Upton in Dorset, and that's where you will find us. We'll find us there. Like that. Maybe Ruby, you'll come and visit us.
Oh, sounds fabulous. You have to send me more details about it.
I will, definitely. It'll be so awesome to meet you like in real life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So thank you so much for joining us today, Ruby. Have a lovely day. Lots of love to Betsy and Milo too. You see what I've done there?
Thank you. And thank you very much for the interview and taking your time after the technical issues.
Oh, it happens. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.